this portion of our North Central Oklahoma tour, we're in Ponca City and we're visiting the Cann Memorial Garden. And here to tell us a little bit about this garden is Jim Eck, Parks Superintendent for the City of Ponca City. Hey Jim, welcome to the program.
Good morning. I'm glad you all come up to see our garden.
Well, it is a beautiful
really
place.
Appreciate it.
Well Jim, how did the Cann Memorial Garden get its start?
Lester Cann was a city father, and he spent about 17 years or so as a county commissioner and about that long as a city manager. And so he made the run back in the Cherokee Strip days, and he more or less founded Ponca City.
Wow.
And this is the home here where he lived. It was built in 1907 or 1911, somewhere in there. And he had one daughter, which eventually ended up with a property, and she had some gardening friends. And when she passed away, she gave it to the city for the enjoyment of the city of Ponca City and the people thereof. And she left a sizable trust to manage the property, and so that's what we use. We're very fortunate to have this situation.
Yeah,
so.
that is a great gift.
Yes.
For the city. And as a superintendent of the parks here in Ponca City, how long have you been doing that?
I came here to Ponca City in 1988, and it was pretty open, and we wanted to make this an arboretum.
Okay.
And a garden that people could come and enjoy and sit, and also a learning experience. And since I've been here, we've put in approximately 85 different kinds of trees.
Wow. Okay.
And that's not counting the different annual and perennial shrubs that we put in.
All right. Well, you certainly like a lot of diversity. I see you at our OSU plant materials conferences in the fall, and at a lot of the things we do there in Stillwater and around the state. And you have planted a lot of different types of trees here. And you got a really nice one right here behind us.
Yep. This is Shantung maple, and I highly recommend it for a medium-sized tree, particularly around a patio area or under a line.
Sure.
And being with the city, that's real important because people plant too large of trees under the power lines, and
it can happen sometimes.
And it ends up ruining them, having to trim them back.
Yeah.
But it is a nice small tree.
Former Oklahoma proven tree, very
Oklahoma
tough.
proven,
yeah.
Yes.
And right over here, this is a really large willow oak. And Jim, I'm guessing this was probably here when you started. Is that right?
No, I planted this tree only about no more than 10 years ago.
Wow.
And it has just really flourished, and it likes the site, and it's just, I'd say one of the oaks for an evergreen type is a real good tree.
Okay, it hangs on to the leaves through the winter. They will turn brown, but usually stay on the tree. Gives some really good shade. Well, how about the big liriodendron, the big tulip poplar?
The tulip poplar was one of the original trees here when I came, and it has stood through the ice storms and all of that, and it does bloom real nice. For a liriodendron, it puts on a lot of blooms, and people really enjoy it.
Okay, and you have planted a few other trees that you really like here. I know you have the Japanese snowbell.
Japanese snowbell.
That tree?
Yes, I do. The Japanese snowbell it's a small tree, and in the spring when it blooms, it has got the sweetest aroma. You could just stand under it all day long, and thus far it has grown very well for us here.
Okay, white flowers, I'm sure.
White flowers, and they're bell-shaped, of course.
All right, and a sassafras that you went and got over in eastern Oklahoma?
Yes, I went over to Wagner along the creek there, and we got us a sassafras. And surprisingly, it's done real well here.
Okay.
That is a real moist site, by the way, and it is one of our prettiest fall-colored trees.
Beautiful red
red color.
Okay. Well, Jim, if folks come out here to tour the Cann Garden, they can pick up one of these at a little box that you have behind the house?
Yes, we've made up a chart, and you can come and walk the pathways, which is approximately a quarter to a half mile long. And it's got all the locations of the trees and their names, and you can kind of more or less identify what you're looking at.
Okay. see a tree you'd like in your yard, you can find
see
out
how
its
it
name.
grows?
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Well, Jim, let's go look at one of the color areas over behind the home.
Okay, let's go to formal garden.
Well, Jim, here in the formal garden, you guys have quite a mixture of plants, and you've got it separated into different garden areas. Is that right?
We have different color beds. We have more or less some that's more white and a yellow bed, but anyway, we just like to plant a variety of color throughout it. So.
Okay. Well, I can see some phlox coming on, starting to flower over here as we get into the warm months of summer. And one of the most eye-catching displays is this group of rudbeckias that you've got right here. Now, this is what's the cultivar?
Cultivar is Indian Summer over here.
Okay.
And then we have some of the Cherokee Sunset, and there's some other varieties in here, depending on what seed catalog you get them from.
Okay.
But anyway, we love them. They present a nice color, and
they are stunning. And some of these they actually almost look like chrysanthemums.
Yes.
But these are just souped up black-eyed Susans.
yes.
And we usually tell people that some of these rudbeckias, gloriosa daisies as they're sometimes called, they may not survive as perennials for several years, but grow them as annuals because they bloom so much. But you guys are getting a few extra years.
Yes, they'll reseed themselves somewhat. It seems like that the Indian Summer is the one that does the best as far as reseeding itself for fall. And but a lot of these plants are on their second or third year, and but it seems to come back true.
Okay.
So
very nice.
We really like them.
Very nice. The Indian Summer, of course, a tetraploid plant. It's got extra chromosomes, and sometimes those flower heads can be like 7 inches across. And you guys are getting some of those on those plants.
Oh yeah.
I see. Very, very nice. But really great seeing this display of rudbeckias, or black-eyed Susans. So you have some goldenrod here. This will look good in the fall.
Yep. Yellow.
Those yellow flowers. And I really like what you guys have done with the herb garden here. What is it that you've got your herbs that kind of spread around?
Okay, like on some of the mints, we put them in the chimney flue that you get at the cement place. We get them at the place where you buy rock,
okay.
Cement block.
Sure.
And you can get them in 18, 24 inch.
Oh, okay.
And we use 18 inch. And it just keeps the mints and some of the invasive herbs from spreading too far.
Kind of keeps them corralled.
Keeps them corralled up, yes.
All right, and about 18 inches there, so you had to dig down a ways to
put them in there,
yeah.
but it's worth it.
Yeah, oh yeah, keep those
keeps
things
them in bounds.
In bounds, all right. And I really like your grass garden that you've got over here, Jim. Really compliment you on the way you guys have arranged this. I really like that variegated miscanthus you've got back there. The mix of that white foliage in with all of the other green just really stands out. And I see you've got the feather reed grass, Carl Forster, back here starting to bloom.
Yes, and it's a real nice grass. It's upright, and it just has a real nice seed head that's not messy. It's really, really nice. Also the overdam, which is the variegated of it, and it's right next to it. And it has got some nice color, and doesn't get near as big.
A little bit smaller plant.
A little smaller plant.
Okay, well Jim, this is a great collection of grasses, and really like all the color you've got here. And what a wonderful place to come out and take a look at all the plants here at Cann Garden. Thanks a lot for showing us around.
You bet. Glad you come up.